Hello everyone, we are back today, and I'm turning down my volume rapidly. Okay, so if I sound a little bit nasally or weird, sorry, I've got a cold. As I said in the previous episode, this game has given me HIV, which means I'm especially susceptible to communicable diseases. Um, and let me see if we got the dagger. Okay, so now I believe the game actually does give you a little direction, or not really a direction, but a hint on where to go that I appreciate in its sort of subtlety. I mean, it's not really subtle, but it shows you the door in the basement of your house, and you're supposed to go there. Oh, hey, buddy. I should be using the dagger on this guy. The dagger's actually the best weapon in the game. What the fuck? Probably the best weapon in the game. Oh, we have another serum. That must have been in the town hall that we got that. It's been 5 days since I played this. I have to record these in long bunches, long groups of hours, and then I take a few days off, 5 or 6 days, because it really does wear on me. it's it's it grinds me down. What is going on here? Where did this come from? I've got to find another way inside. So I guess our door is covered in barbed wire. But I saw some bugs running out of here, little cockroaches or something, which means they were directing me on where to go. Now I commented on this before, which is I actually do like the little element of bugs running and directing you on where to go, but the implementation is not very good, and I say that because you could see them very briefly. They ran past me, and now I can't see them anymore. And instead of making it like a constant wave or sort of a thin wave of bugs to direct you in a very subtle way, they just sort of send out one burst, and then you have to wait a while, and they still haven't sent out another. Although I think I can figure out where to go. I'm just commenting on that particular piece of design. Um, oh yes, there's something I wanted to touch on really quickly, which is it's something I forgot to do, which is I said I wanted to talk about Scarlet and what I didn't like about Scarlet, the boss, of course, after I fought her, but I was so desperate to get to a save point afterwards that I actually forgot to talk about it. So I ended up going to the town hall and getting the dagger and doing all that without mentioning the fact that I've said it before, I really do like Scarlet's design, besides the weird breasts. I think that there's sort of a theme in this game of they're based on the kids that died, the bosses, of course, like um, Sepulchre and Scarlet, and they're based on the kids that died. Like the parents had their kids die, they're based on the kid that died. So Scarlet's the doll, Sepulchre is the big ground earth monster because his dad likes to bury things, and that's how his son died. And so I like Scarlet's design. I think it's good. I think it's fitting, and I think there's a theme that explains the breasts, which is that there's a sort of denial of that child growing up. So, for example, uh, well, it's easier to explain later on when you see it a few more times, specifically in another boss that we're going to fight. But I think that explains it. So I do like Scarlet's design. I do like her mechanics, her face, and how her second phase is a very spider-like thing, and especially the damage you can do to her. Now the damage system in this game, the combat damage, is not very good. It just looks like red paint, like you hit him with a paintbrush and it's just red paint. But the damage effects they did specifically for Scarlet are very good. It's the cracking and the crunching away of her legs, of her porcelain doll body. And that's very, very good. I like that. My issue with Scarlet is in the fact that she is derivative. And I don't blame them for deriding Smog from Lying Figure or from the Armless Man or from a Straight Jacket. I don't blame Climax for deriving the Straight Jacket and Silent Hill Origins from the Lying Figure. I don't blame them for taking the nurses in this game because they're famous. Of course, I do blame them for Pyramid Head because he's customized almost solely for James, whereas nurses appeared in Silent Hill 1, the dogs appeared in Silent Hill 1 and Silent Hill 3. You know, mostly it's just a theme of Silent Hill more than specific things, whereas Pyramid Head is very specific to James. My problem with Scarlet is that she's derivative in a very sneaky way. And that's because if you'll take a look at this picture, this is a boss called Mama from Silent Hill Arcade. And as far as I know, I've never played Silent Hill Arcade. It's the one Silent Hill game I haven't played. Because it's, I believe, only in Japan. And it was never very popular. And Mama is it has long legs, it has long arms, a creepy porcelain doll face, it's sort of a porcelain doll thing. It walks around like a spider, just like Scarlet did. It has a jump up to the ceiling and then drop down ground pound attack. My problem with Scarlet is not in the design or the mechanics or anything like that, or the symbolism. My problem with Scarlet is that she is derivative in the sneakiest way, in the way that it's not meant to be a reference or a sort of it's part of the town's lore. They take it from something very obscure and they don't tie it even directly to. There's no themes of motherhood like there are with the boss Mama and Silent Hill Arcade. It's almost a wholesale ripoff, and I don't blame the designer. You know, it's possible to come up with creepy long-limbed porcelain doll independently. Sorry, I was interrupted. Anyways, I don't blame the designer, because it's easy to come, not easy, but it's sort of a general creepy thing, is dolls, they're very creepy, and things that have long arms, long legs, are creepy to us, especially when not in proportion. So I don't blame the designer, his name is Kenzie Lamar, she did most of the designs for this game. In fact, I think she does an astounding job, quite honestly, she's the best part of this game besides Akira Yamaoka. My issue is, again, it's just very derivative in as far as mechanics go. Now, you don't have the damage effects that you have in this game, in Silent Hill Arcade. But otherwise, mechanically, it's a complete ripoff, and especially in the second phase of the battle, how it crawls along its legs. Anyways, that's all I want to say. Not that I think it's just it seems sneaky to me. That's all. His head just clipped through. Let me see if I can try that again. Watch Alex's head. It just clips right through the bricks. Oh, there's some schisms in here. Goodness gracious. This fence is open though. Interesting. Oh, we came back here earlier. Uh-oh. But yeah, I think maybe it's just my problem with the fact it's very, very derivative of Mama. But it just bothers me a bit because it's something that everyone talks about being sort of a saving grace of Homecoming is Scarlet is so good. And I agree, she is good independently. It just bothers me that they couldn't come up with any original as far as game design, attacks, mechanics of the battle go. They couldn't come up with anything original. Anyways, I have to find my way in here into my house. But I have to be honest, I'm not quite sure how. I'm thinking maybe, just maybe. I actually don't know really. Can I? I have to get into my house. Oh, hey. God damn it. Holy mackerel. Get off me, dude. Oh, I was trying to use my medkit. I phased right through him. Okay, I will cut the video. Okay, everyone. So, I actually ended up exploring for quite a while, and I realized that I was probably an idiot. I'm not sure if this is my fault or the game's, but I'm just going to chalk it up to my fault. It's sort of like that's an old concept, I think. It's sort of like Occam's razor. If you mess up in a video game and get lost, it's probably your fault. Yep, so my objective is to investigate the town hall more. So I looked around for quite a while around the town, and I ended up reloading a save because I was so far away. And I realized that my objective still said investigate town hall, which to me meant that there's probably something down here that I need to do that I don't remember. And there it is. I was just clicking against the walls, I didn't realize that was there. So yeah, it's actually pretty hard to see. And maybe I'm wrong, but that sounded like the bass sample sound effect for when you enter the vault, or any vault in Fallout 3 or New Vegas or Fallout 4. That was interesting. But yeah, that's my fault, that's on me. I'm not going to blame the game for that one. I've seen other people do the exact same thing, because it sort of hints for you to run towards the shepherd house, but it's locked off. Not sure why, really. Oh, I know, actually, now that I think about it. I was actually watching, not really watching, but when I was editing these, I was looking at the video, and I kept thinking, what the hell is wrong with my computer? What the hell is wrong with, like if I rendered it wrong, I don't know what I did. But, so if you're thinking that the game looks very faded out, and like, not just gray, but faded, again, now looking at it, I know it's not my computer, I know it's not how I'm editing the videos. It's just the game. It's extremely faded out, especially when you get to a light source like this or you're outside. It's just entirely gray. Now I know there's a film grain filter, but I'm not sure if there's another filter to sort of dull the colors. Here's a typewriter. You'd think you could interact with the typewriter, but I am incorrect. There's a ladder here, but we cannot go down it because it's blocked off. But thankfully we can climb up this ladder. And I think if this goes where I think it does... Wow, the loading screen hasn't even stopped yet. This is amazing. Are you seeing this? Everything's animating correctly, everything is playing. Usually it just says not responding. What a technical marvel this game is. Holy mackerel. That's pretty cool. I guess we've got a lucky day. Except, oh, okay. Never mind, that looked terrible. I don't know what that was. Don't let the... Okay, we gotta look in our journal and see what that says. Drawings. Apparently there are captions for these drawings, even though they're not on the pictures. Beware of he who took them, he goes by many names, the boogeyman, the shadowed one, but all are he the same. Remember to always behave, for sins he won't abide. He wields a rusty jagged blade to cut out your insides. Wow. The lying little children with souls selfish and small will find their wriggling tongues cut out, nailed to his wall. The bully, here's the one we just picked up. The bullies in their spiteful wrath will find torment as well. Soon he will strike them where they stand and drag them into hell. This bunny seems to be flailing in the water. A family of bunnies, 3 bloody bunnies. Okay. So we ended up in a little mausoleum, as I thought we would. And this animation you're going to see a lot of times, and I just want to point out how much I hate it. Now we are back in... Oh, there's the body again. We are back in the Rose Heights Cemetery. Now let's look at our map. I believe this is the 3rd time we went through it, and then we backtracked, and now we're back in it. So, really making good use of this asset. We want to head back to our house. I'm pretty sure the game has trained me to know this like the back of my own hand. I know where to go. Hey, Smog. I'm gonna check if there's anything over here. Ooh, there is. I'm glad I checked. So in the other Silent Hill games, exploring meant exploring every building, going in every building, checking out the whole town. In this game, it means walking past an enemy, having the bravery to walk 3 extra feet. But it's still completely linear, really. So we have to find our way through here. Can we go through this gate? Oh, we can. I know there's somewhere we can duck under over here. Or squeeze through, maybe. Yeah, here's the duck under. I'm stuck. The gate is locked. Here we can squeeze through again. Ah, we are back. Now we see the true power of Metroid games, where you slowly gain items, where you slowly gain items and then you can use them later. So we got, okay, we got the Chrome Hammer Pistol. I don't want to rag on this too hard, but 1, this is not a real design for a gun, and 2, for a fictional design, this is ugly as sin. Also, the weird space age retro look does not fit Silent Hill very well. It's not quite understated. But the Chrome Hammer Pistol is, again, we're getting different weapons as we go that we pick up, and each one, let's reload our shotgun, is sort of just a damage upgrade on the last. So you can... Okay, let's persevere from that devastating blow we just took. I just took to my psyche. I just wasted another goddamn serum. Is this gate locked again? Of course. So it was locked earlier, we could go through it afterwards when we backtracked. Now it's locked again. For no reason at all. I'm not fighting you guys. It's their sound effects are literally interrupting each other. Oh yeah. I don't even know I have this pistol out. I should be using my knife. So I have to correct one of my earlier statements. It really seems like you should be able to go through here, but I think maybe later on you can. Hopefully. Anyways, I have to correct one of my earlier statements about the fact you can't really run by enemies. It depends on the area that you're in. If you're in anything close to or resembling a narrow, either interior or even an alleyway, or near anything that is considered a physical object by the game, you cannot get by any enemies. You're just not fast enough. You just can't control the game well enough. Again, praise to these loading screens, because these are loading correctly, running correctly. I'm astounded by this. But those last few enemies I was able to run by, which I appreciate. So I think that I'm gonna have to enter through the basement here, actually. Wait. I have a vague memory of one door in here being blocked off by wooden boards. Yes, there it is. So we will use our fire axe on that. And I'm gonna guess there's either a weapon in here or a serum. Oh, we are in... Mom said these dishes were a wedding present from Grandma. How come we never used them? Looks like Mom made a big dinner. Why didn't anyone eat it? Okay. And I believe these doors are locked. Because the concept of of opening it from the other side is non-existent in this game for some reason. Looks like there's a child's drawing on the fridge, but we can't look at it. Yeah, so for some reason all these doors we cannot open. We have to go through the basement. Even though all it would take is just one extra line of... well, not one extra line, but you just have to stitch the rooms together. And I guess they just found that too hard to do. Wait a second. So... this is kind of funny, actually. Wait. Why does my map now have no markings on it? It doesn't say Fitch, it doesn't have any of the markings of the cemetery, it doesn't have my house on it. What happened? That's nuts. Anyways, I was just looking here because the sump pump, the water pipe, not pipe, but tube, that we're pumping all the water out of our basement with, seems to be, if you remember, just to the right where we came in here, the road is broken. This is the side of the house where the road is broken. But there's a tree here, but I'm pretty sure that they're just putting the hose down into a giant gaping hole and pumping the water out. Or doing it in their neighbor's yard. That's pretty funny. Okay. Finally, we will become the Shepherd House. And explore in here. Excuse me, mannequin. Speaking of mannequins, this reminds me. The poll I put up a few days ago, and of what game I should be playing on Halloween, what game I should stream. It's still scheduled. I'm going to do it at 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to be streaming Condemned Criminal Origins because people want to see me play that, I guess. It was overwhelmingly the winner. And I have to say, I've never played it before. It's something fresh. I'm a huge fan of Monolith Studios, who made it, though. I'm a huge fan of Fear, who it's sort of a similar art style, pretty much identical, actually. I love No One Lives Forever, like Nobody's Business. I just love Monolith, so I can't wait to do that. And I believe there's some mannequin scares in the game, which is why I'm talking about it now. Anyways, let's use the dagger on this door here. And just interesting thing that I'd like to note. When we came here earlier, we wouldn't go in here, but the door had a handle. It did have a handle, and it was this dagger. Now it's gone. And I don't know if someone took it out or what. I'm going to guess that they did. It's sort of a subtle piece of foreshadowing, actually, now that I think of it. So I just want to point out, I keep saying that this animation, you should get used to it. I mentioned it earlier. But there's a second of hesitation, he goes towards it, second of hesitation, then he twists, slowly twists again, and so on. And that really bothers me because we're going to see that same animation 100 times in every single thing, and every single thing you put this knife into is going to be the exact same level, exact same width, exact same place, because they just want to reuse that exact animation over and over. There's an attic key here, a row of knives, and we got our blue steel shotgun, which appears to be some derivation on a spaz 12. A little shower thing from meat, I assume. So we've got this loaded up, chrome hammer pistol. We already upgraded these two, from the steel pipe to the crowbar, from the knife to the dagger. Upgraded these. We still have to get our second fire axe, but that's a little bit later on. So I believe we're gonna get a cutscene coming up here that just really tickles me in the worst ways. Let's see if our mom's still sitting here. She is. Hi, Mom. You don't even care that I was gone for a long... Okay. I'm tired of you, you old hag. Alright, we need to find the attic door. Well, let's check if anything else is in here as... not appeared, but if there's anything we can do now that we have different weapons. A fire axe and so on. I don't think so. We already covered everything in here much earlier in the playthrough, so... let's check this bookshelf again. I don't care about fucking spiders. Oh yeah, the fact that Scarlet crawls like a spider is not just inspired by Mama, but it's also sort of a theme in this game as far as Needlers go, Scarlet goes, and you'll see the final boss does the same thing. And the explanation is that Josh likes spiders. So this is very strange. If you remember earlier on, I spent a long time trying to get this button to press the button on the back of the shelf. Now I can't even, and it wouldn't work. Now I can't even interact with the shelf, and all the books have been moved back. And I really have no explanation for that at all. I had maybe a game bug. I have no clue. Let's use our attic key here. So this is not an attic, it's just an extra room. An attic is the thing that you usually pull down like a ceiling door or a little staircase or a ladder, or it's just something that you have a staircase up into and it's sort of an extra third floor just under the roof. An attic is not an extra room on the same floor as every other room. This is the same TV my parents had when I left. It also miraculously is playing the same static we've seen before. Ooh, we get a loading screen when we enter this door. Maybe we're gonna get a real treat in here. Now we're in the attic. Okay. So this is a proper attic. I don't know why the attic key was to a door that... it should have said like hunting room key or something like that. This looks like a shelf we can push. Oh, I was right. I actually didn't think we'd be able to. Before we go in there, let's explore the rest of this attic, though. I do like this cloth effect that you can run into it. I've seen better in other games, but the fact they put in the work to do this, you know, credit where credit's due. That's pretty cool. Although I've always had a weakness for that kind of thing. Hey, this is me. What am I doing? It's a picture of my face all shocked, of Alex's face, and it says, "Hi, Alex." And, can I get a... is there any way to get a better perspective on that? You know, I've got mixed feelings on this, because the concept and the idea is very good of this, which is that there's a creepy photo. It fails in the fact that, one, there's nothing to take a photo in front of me or even close. Two, I wasn't looking that way, nor was I seeing anything to shock me, or I wasn't even looking straight, I was looking down at the picture. So this could have been taken at any time, and the fact it says, "Hi, Alex," kind of creepy, but the implication it's taken here is done very, very poorly. If you want to see a good example of this, look up, and you should really do this because it basically explains all of what's wrong with Homecoming. Look up Singularity Camera. And I think that's what they were going for with this, which is like you pick up a picture and it's, something was taking a picture of you. But they didn't really put in the work to really pull it off. So look up singularity camera effect, and that's a camera. That's essentially what they are going for, at least I believe, and that game does it much better.
I have something very important I want to show you.
Okay.
Do you know what this is? This belonged to your grandpa, and his father too. And now we want you to have it. I know it doesn't look like much, but this is the most important thing I could ever give to you.
Is it worth $1 million?
Much more than that. This is a symbol of our family's past and our future.
Can I wear it?
Yes. Joshua, you are never to show anybody this ring. Not even Alex.
But I want to show Alex.
Do you remember when I told you sometimes you must do things and not ask why? Well, this is one of those times.
Yes, sir.
That's my boy.
Okay. So that's just really strange. The fact that, teaching maybe this is just, I know that I'm probably not the expert, but lying figure parenting 101, you should never teach your kid to go along with anything anybody says and don't ask why. Like if a stranger pulls up and says, get in the van, you should probably ask why at the very least. And if he says, I need help finding my puppy, you should say, no way, Jose. It's just weird advice. It comes off as the person who wrote that thought it would be good dialogue for a Silent Hill game, and it really doesn't hold up to much scrutiny. And the other weird thing about it is he says, you can't show anybody, even Alex, even your brother, there's 4 people in our family, you can't even show the other people in our family this. And then he puts it on him and says he can wear it. So which one is it? Can he wear it around? I don't get it. Certificate of release or discharge from active duty, Adam Shepard, 1954, April 18th. Place of entry, Fort Benning, Georgia. Lots of awards and ribbons, blah blah blah. Essentially this is just saying your dad is a military cool guy. And here we get a cool Resident Evil 4 puzzle again. The issue with this one is that it controls like the other one that I did, and that's very poorly. I'm trying so hard. Please. And I hate this constant stupid clicking that it does for no reason. Now wait a second. We've come across a conundrum here. We need to get this over here. Which means we pull this. Oh, I should do this. Up. Come on. Now this goes over. Now this goes back. Back up. And this should go. Let's pull this down. So now those switch places. This can go back here. And this will go here. And these need to go down. There we go. So instead of just playing that, they have to have a one frame cut back to my character standing there for some reason. Oh my god, it's a letter from Dad. I have failed and they know it. They blame me. They should. I sort of protect this town, but I can't. The streets decay before our eyes. The curse we always feared has come upon us. Worse yet, the order... The order... That's a mistranslation. Has returned, kidnapping, killing with impunity, brainwashing those they take in an effort to rebuild their flock. Whether they want to punish us for the exodus of our forefathers, or simply to breathe new life into the old ways, I don't know. But they've taken our people, the only thing left is to face the source of this evil, to fight it and pray that some hope can be restored. My sole consolation is that I finally opened my eyes to the evil in Silent Hill. Now there's a map of Silent Hill. I need to ask Mom if she knows about this. So this explains the sort of motivation of what's going on. The cult of Silent Hill is now kidnapping people. It's kidnapping people to be part of the cult, and it's upset. There's been a curse now on Silent Hill or on Shepherd's. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Wow. So you know how this is the most important note in the game. Most important note in the game, bar none. I can't read it again. There's the manual, there's clues, there's photos, there's drawings. It's in my inventory. I can't read it again. Excellent. So what if you skipped part of it? What if you accidentally clicked one too many? What if you accidentally pressed the A button one too many? Well, then you're just out of luck for the huge portion of the plot. Excellent. Anyways, essentially it means that the cult of Silent Hill is kidnapping people from Shepherd's Glen to build up their cult again. And there's a curse on Shepherd's Glen now for some reason, and the cult is upset with them for some reason. We will find out. My big issue with this comes in the fact that this is one of the most atrocious things about Silent Hill Homecoming, is how it shits on the lore of Silent Hill. Later in Homecoming, we're going to find a note which explains to us that after the events of, this is spoilers for Silent Hill 3, after the events of Silent Hill 3, Douglas Cartland, the detective guy who helped Heather, goes public with all the information about the cult, exposes it, the cult dies. Okay. Now this is sort of, you can infer this from the ending of Silent Hill 3. I mean, it's not really mentioned on that much. He says he wants the cult to die and stuff, but it's confirmed in Homecoming that that's what happens, that the cult died. And now we're finding out that the cult is alive, and they're kidnapping people. Not only that, but they're calling it the Order, which is, again, I've said this a million times, but it's a mistranslation. In Silent Hill 3, oh, excuse me, which game is it? Yeah, it's in Silent Hill 3. You find a note about the Wish House Orphanage, and it says that it's run by the Order. It's the only time in any of the games up to that point that the Order is mentioned. Otherwise, it's always just called the Cult, or it's not really referred to by any name at all. It's not meant to be a proper noun. The Order it's meant to be an order, like an order of crazy cultists. And the Order is a mistranslation. When the translators of the game, the plot was written in Japanese, and it was meant to be an order, not a proper noun. The Order, it's not the proper name. But Homecoming just completely ignores the fact, even though it was known by just about every single person, not only who worked on the games, but by the fans. Even in Silent Hill Origins, they don't call it the Order. And they call it the Order. Because they just didn't care. They just didn't. It frustrates me. So yeah, the game story just is ruining my life. So now let's go ask our mom about this map.
Listen to me, Mom. Start telling me everything you know about this.
I don't know what that is.
Stop lying. I'm tired of it. I know all about Silent Hill.
You don't know anything about Silent Hill.
I know Dad went there. He went to go fight something. Did he go to get Joshua? Is that where Josh is? God damn it, tell me!
Alex, I'm so sorry.
Stop pretending you care about me! Start telling me what's going on! Josh was the only one you ever cared about. And I can help him if you tell me the truth.
Forget the shepherd thing. Let's move.
Mom?
Okay, so now we're in a loading screen. I just want to point out that at the end of that cutscene, he says "Mom," and then there is a audio glitch where it repeated a few times. He goes mm. It sounded god awful. The cutscene is very strange to me because you can see the Order member. I hate to say that, but the Order member, that's what I'm going to be calling these people, lurking behind the mom, and them talking for quite a few seconds. And I'll be honest, it's pretty creepy. It's well done. My issue with it is that the timing of the bang, the jump scare, is really just awful. I don't know why they do that. I don't know what the deal is. They should have done it just when he grabs her, but they do it a second before, which it's sort of like missing a beat in music. It just makes it seems very off. Also the fact that you get a very vague hint about Silent Hill, you get the map, and then you go down to your mom. The game specifically tells you to ask about Silent Hill, and he says, I know all about Silent Hill. Well, what are you asking your mom for, you fucking dumbass? And then she says you don't know anything about Silent Hill, and he's taken aback by that. He's winded. All the air is just popped out of his lungs. He's gasping. He couldn't believe the rebuttal his mom gave him about, you don't know anything about Silent Hill. So let's find a save point. I'm gonna just go ahead and ignore everything in the house. Oh, hi, Swarm. I'm gonna ignore everything. Actually, I shouldn't. But I really want to find a save point. It's very important, actually. This is well known as one of the most buggy areas in the game. It's actually definitively the most buggy area in the game. And not only that, but it's God, I want a save point badly. It is by far one of the most buggy areas in any game, I have to be honest, especially that I've experienced. I've never seen anybody play through this area without getting at least one bug. There's a bug where we have to get out of here, and there's a bug that often happens. It's something like 10 or 15% of people who play the game get locked in here, and they need to keep reloading older saves until the game decides not to do it. So we're in a hellish shepherd house, and this becomes a nice level. To escape to the future, you must know the past. We are bound to our pain, remember, and set us free. So we need to solve basically 4 puzzles, I believe, in order to release the 4 locks on the door. And it's cracked and worn mask. It looks angry. I like some of the... oh, there is a save point here. It's so well lit in here that that I didn't even notice. It's supposed to have a glow, you know, a slight glow to it, how the game froze. Please don't crash. Oh my goodness. Okay. It's been a while since we had a save point. Look at this. This has been, I started playing around 7. Although I did have to cut out and go do some stuff for a little bit, but still quite a while.